Hey everyone, it's Mari. Thanks so much for dropping by my channel today. I'm going to be creating a layout today using the gorgeous Emeline kit from Felicity Jane. Just starting out with some white cardstock, and I'm going to be using the packaging technique here to put some color on my background. I'm going to be using some inklings in Blew My Mind and Bahama Mama. And I'm also going to use a little bit of Vibes and Sunset Strips. So the color scheme for this layout is going to be blue, pink, and yellow. And these were really predominant colors in the Emeline kit. And so this is what I used for my colors for my background. So I didn't actually start with any gesso on my paper. I just went ahead and put the colors down right onto the cardstock. And I think it does warp a little bit, but it's fine. It doesn't, there's no excessive warping, so it looks fine in the end. And so that's the Blew My Mind that I've put down there now. I really like this color. It's kind of almost got a gold, little bit of a blue and gold mix in the sheen. And it's quite unique. I really like it. And it actually looks really nice with the color scheme here. So what I did was I took a piece of just cardstock, a little swatch of cardstock, and tried a bunch of colors, and you can see a bunch of the shimmers on my table there, and I just kind of tried out a bunch to see which ones would go with the papers that I'm going to use and the color scheme that I wanted to use for this layout. So that's how I came up with using these three colors. So I'm just putting those down, and of course they're just gorgeous. They're so shimmery and pretty, like the Shimmers products are, and I end up just putting a few splatters over top of those two colors and then adding a little bit of the Sunset Strip yellow on some packaging as well. So you'll just see me really quick here doing some splatters with my paintbrush, and I can't remember, I think that's probably the blue that I'm using there right now, and I think I splatter with some pink too. Yep, I splatter with some pink, and then also with some of the yellow. So I get all three colors splattered on there. I'm just going to try to dry that a little bit, and then I'll just take a little piece of paper towel and dab that up a little bit just to make sure that it's good and dry before I start adding a bunch of other things on top of that. And you really, with the inklings, you just have to give them a little bit of time to activate, right? So what I did was I just sprayed a little bit of water into the little pot and let it kind of sit there a little bit, and then I just stirred it with my paintbrush and got it really well activated before I went ahead and started to work with it. So there I've got all of my splatters down, and I'm ready to move on to the next step. Now I have a feeling yes, I added the yellow off camera. So I just added a little bit of that yellow Sunset Strip using that same technique. Now I just wanted to add some pattern paper over to the side, and I wanted my white paper to be the first sort of tattered or uneven edge. So instead of just adding the roughed paper to the side, I actually decided to take a chunk off of my white paper. So I just tore it off of there in a strip. And now I just take this yellow paper, still from working from the Emeline kit, and I'm going to use that over on the edge, and then I'll add a few more strips of color on the edge, just using some of those other pattern papers from the kit, so that I've got some of the blue, the pink, and the yellow over on the side, all three colors of the color scheme on that left edge. And some of the papers have a rough edge, or at least the pink one will. The pink one will have a rough edge. And then you'll see that I take one of the scalloped blue papers from the patterned papers and just put a little bit of a blue scallop over there on the edge, just to give it a little bit of a different textured look as well. Now I'm just taking this stamp. It's a really distressed looking stamp out of my stash. This is not part of the kit. And I'm going to add some embossing powder to the layout. So I just took this stamp and I inked it up with some Versamark ink, which is a really sticky, clear ink. And what that does is it allows the embossing powder to stick down. And so I'm just going to put this really pretty embossing powder from Wow. It's Pearl Gold Sparkle, and it is so shimmery and pretty. And I really like how it looks on the background here over top of those Shimmers products. So I'm just going to take my little paintbrush here and just get rid of all of the excess powder. before I hit this with my heat tool and heat it up. And I end up repeating this process another 2 times to create 3 different sort of areas where those stamps are on the layout. And I really like how it looks in the end, and you'll be able to see that in just a couple of minutes here once I hit it with the heat tool. So I'm just going to let my heat tool warm up a little bit, and once I do that, I just go ahead and you can see those really pretty little circles with that gold glitter start to show up there, and that is really shiny and pretty. I really like how that looks. So there's going to be a little transition here, and you'll be able to see the other 2 areas I created using exactly that same process, just so that there's more areas on the background. And it doesn't cover up the colors that I've got. It doesn't cover up the shimmers products at all. It just kind of enhances, adds another layer really on top of them, so that it just creates a little bit more interest. So now I'm just going to take some of the other pattern papers from the Emeline kit, and I'm going to create some photo mat here for my picture. The photograph is a square photo that I've printed in black and white, and I'm just going to create 3 different pattern paper layers here. For the photograph, I've just ripped the bottoms of each of those 3 papers just to create that rough texture again, which duplicates the texture from the left side and brings that same element into the photo mat. Just going to add a little bit of Tombow Mono to the back there so that I make sure that that will stick down to all of those products that are on my white cardstock. And now I'm ready to start embellishing the layout. Now I'm taking this little cut apart that was on the cut apart sheet that says "Remember Today," that is in the kit. And if you've seen people unboxing the kit, or if you have the kit yourself, you have seen this piece. It's really pretty and I like it a lot. I just fussy cut around the edges of the letters, and so that it does add just a little bit more interest to that cut apart. I'm just taking a flare button. I don't remember which kit that's from. It is from Felicity Jane, but it's not from Emeline. And it says "Darling" on it, and it has some little black polka dots on it, which I liked. And I'm going to just add a few of the other little embellishments from the kit, including some wood veneer hearts and a couple of other little sticky pieces from the cut apart sheet, a little circle with a heart and another little blue heart, and some tags. I'm going to cut those tags down since I've already stuck that photograph down. Just want them to stick out the top there anyways, so I didn't really need the whole tag. And just an impression of a tag. I'm going to add that little tab, that little file tab to the top. And I've decided that I want to actually take one of the stamps from the kit and add to that. Now, one of the really cute little stamps in this kit is 5 stars, so that you can actually, you could use this on a lot of different projects where you're going to give something, some event or whatever, a number of star ratings. And so I end up putting that little star stamp on the top of this file tab, and I'm going to color the stars in with some yellow pencil crayon here, and I actually give them 5 stars. Believe it or not. Picture of Jordan and his girlfriend Paul. They were going to I think maybe one of his work parties or something like that, and they were all dressed up, and one of their friends took this picture of them, and it's really cute. So I don't think I've scrapped it yet, and I wanted to scrap it for this layout. So I really like the sentiments that are on the layout that go along with the picture, including these 5 stars. I just liked how it looked. I'm almost done here. I'm just going to slow the video down here and show you that I added a little bit of sewing here and there on the layout and just left those loose threads. I added another stamp, that smile stamp, and some journaling and a little bit of sewing on the edge. So that's going to be it for the layout, guys. Thanks so much for joining me today, and check out those Felicity Jane kits. They're absolutely gorgeous. Love them so much. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you next time on my channel. Bye-bye.